Let's talk about a little bit more about structures, okay? The last segment I've got for you today show you now samples of different structures and things for you to consider what path you should take. When I mean path, I'm talking you individually with your job role, where you fit within the structure, and overall as a family, what type of structure you should be building. So here's a few things to consider of business job roles. These are different things we've covered already, and I'm just going to put all of them up so you can see them in one go. So what we've got first of all is in the center, we've got in the business, bottom circle there you can see is working in the business. We've got working on the business. We've got board of director / investor. So that is what we term active or passive. We've got family office, and then we've also got the family council. So what I'm showing you here on one slide from a structure point of view, but linked to specifically job roles. So assuming you've got your DNA profile done from the last module and we're clear on everyone's profile, we're now clear on the type of structure that we're building and the different elements of our structure, because some of these may not exist for you today, but you may have them in the future, or some of you have already got these in place today. You can now start integrating job roles with structure. And the objective here, personally, what I've been driving for years is to make sure every family member I'm working with is happy, satisfied, fulfilled, and can contribute somewhere in this model. So in the business would be what we call typically C-level position or a functional role, okay? Head of finance, head of HR, working on technology maybe with a technology department, but a functional role. So this would be a family member who works in that area every day and has got a defined job role with duties, responsibilities. And what I showed you earlier with the PPKRA process for performance management, we would definitely have a PPKRA done for this person. Very important. Family member or no family member, they should have a PPKRA. Because we need to make sure that there's accountability there as a board and that these individuals in the business, as family members, are doing their job. Very important. The next stage, and on the left and right of the circle, you see on the left in and in on the right as well. So on the left, it says in full-time operational role. And on the right-hand side, okay, you've got in full-time interim operation role. What does that mean? It's almost like a contradiction. What it means is that maybe we had a professional CEO who was in the position but has left the company. So we've nominated a family member to be in that role full-time, but only for 6 months. And during the 6 months, they're there to make sure they handle everything while we're looking for a replacement who could then come into the business. So that's what we refer to as the 2 in scenarios. Then we move to on, second tier. On could be an on role, okay, on the business, could be full-time project-based. On the left-hand side, it says on full-time project-based, which means they've got multiple projects in the business or multiple businesses in the family group. And they are involved in all of those on a full-time basis. And on the other side, you've got part-time project-based role. It's only one project. It's very part-time. Could be for a next-gen member, maybe. Maybe they're doing this while they're also studying. It could be someone, it could be even a spouse who could be involved because of their skill set, who's involved in that project. And they're involved for 6 months, 9 months. It could be a year project. Once that project is done, they're finished, okay? There's nothing else they're involved in unless another project would come along versus the one on the left, who is full-time project-based, which is they're involved in multiple strategic type projects, innovation type projects, process efficiency type projects, functional projects for HR department, manufacturing department, new product development department, and they literally carry on from one project to the next because they're built with their DNA to contribute in that area, and they love the freedom of working on multiple projects. And we know they're just not good in an operational in role. They're better with small teams, 1 or 2 people, 5, 6 people, but they can't handle the chaos and all the problems that come up in the business. Then we move to BOD and investor, next stage, board of director investor. So typically the board, as we've already covered now, is looking at family and business board areas, governance, leadership, strategy, new ventures. You could have a full-time board director role at this level, okay, which could be in one company as a full-time board director who's supporting them, and in a way they're board director and they're on the business at the same time. There are rare occasions, by the way, you could also be a board director and you can also be an in role. You are director and you're the one who's acting as the CEO. That could also happen. So you can see how this model changes. So they're full-time, or they're an investor on the right-hand side where they're part-time board director. They are a director. They're a shareholder potentially as well. And they're more like an investor where they'll come maybe once a month or to the board meetings every 2-3 months. They're there in the background. You can use them if you need to. And all they're really interested in is what's my dividend and are we doing well or not? And maybe they're taking that role also with the next circle on behalf of maybe the family office or on behalf of the family board. So fourth circle, family office would look after investments, funding, areas, maybe some mentoring may kick in. The family council will also get involved in mentoring and will look after family unity and family projects, non-business related projects. So again, we could have someone who's full-time in the family office. Typically, we don't really come across part-time roles in a family office. Most of the time they are full-time roles. Part-time could be unless they're on an executive committee in the family office, for maybe there's a property development project going on and we've nominated maybe one of the next gen members to be on that project. That could happen, but you know, it's a one-off thing. It's not full-time. And on the right-hand side, the family council could be, most of the cases, it's very rare to have full-time roles in a family council. You're probably talking half a day, a couple of hours, max maybe 1 day commitment a month, typically with most family councils. So it's a part-time role that you're playing on certain projects and commitments at a family council level. So if you look at it, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. You've got multiple things within the circles. You've got full-time and part-time. And if you look at all of these areas, you've got multiple options to take someone's DNA in the family, whether they're senior members, founding members in the business, spouses, next gen members, and literally you can find a role for anyone. I'm telling you, anyone in your family where they can contribute somewhere. And if they contribute, they have a sense of belonging and they're part of this long-term vision that we have to build a legacy. So I hope that helps. Once again, drop me questions in the chat or any thoughts that you have or